I'm Mike Sheridan and you're welcome to The Delve. Emmet, Kirwan and Lloyd have been mainstays in the Irish thespian scene for some time. Kirwan co-wrote and starred in the hugely successful play Dublin Old School, and Anderson played his brother in the production, as well as about 20 other roles. The two men also star in the film adaptation of Dublin Old School, which, for me at least, is the best film of the year so far. Quoted on the poster and also am. I caught up with them in the jury buildings in central Dublin to talk about the film, the play and being a jobbing actor in Dublin in 2018. Dublin Old School is released in Irish cinemas on June 29th.
Gentlemen, congratulations on the film.
Nice one, thank you.
Actually, I was at one of the really early screenings of the film, and remember, first of all, when Element Pictures are involved, it's generally a good sign. But I remember the lady from Element Pictures was at the front desk and I was like, you always kind of ask, is it any good? And I'm like, yeah. But she was like, so there was, you knew straight away there was
Right,
something
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I remember saying to the person, my friend that was with me, I remember going, because I'd seen the play and loved the play, I was like, I think this is going to be a belter. Where were you guys while the first screening happened? And that reaction was bleeding out on Twitter.
I was actually watching The Avengers in an IMAX in London, and you haven't seen it, Spider-Man, guys. But and I seen it in an IMAX.
They all died.
60-foot screen, yo!
They all died.
Oh, do you not know that?
No, I don't care either, but that was my favourite thing you've done in all of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, he's
great.
actually, not to get sidetracked, but he's the biggest toy merchandise, so he's obviously coming back, so don't sweat it.
it's
You know
cool.
what I mean? I was in there, so I was kind of going, woo, which was a lot more exciting than watching, Spider-Man boil it.
You were annoying somebody in an IMAX, like.
Oh no, I went outside. I went outside. Yeah. I went outside. I wouldn't do that. There's a special place in hell for people that open phones and talking cinemas. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that, the yellow lad on the road kicking a ball at his door. You know what I mean? Hear someone talking in the background.
What about you, Ian?
I was at home. I was just at home, and I got an email from a journalist friend of mine who'd seen it and saying it was great. And I thought, what's going on here? I thought, gee, I missed the premiere or something. Not getting invited. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realise there was screenings happening.
Yeah.
And then I went onto Twitter, and there was a bit of talk and a bit of sort of tagging and things. And I went, oh Jesus, people are seeing the film, and it was quite a strange feeling. I hadn't seen the film at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm making light of it.
Really
I'm like
weird.
kind of going, oh, it's funny, but there is the thing, like whenever you do anything, and as you say, it's that kind of like, again, the currency of communication between people is like, even if it's bad, we'll all just tell ourselves with this myth that it's actually good because you're protecting your psyche and you need
also
to believe in what you're doing. But it was actually quite nice to know that people that worked on it believed in it, and then the company that was delivering it believed in it. And then when we got the kind of affirmation, you're like,
That's
you know what I mean?
yeah,
like you're like,
that's
sit down. So yeah,
because you can put yourself in a bubble and go, we did a great job, but it's not. It's not on us to make that decision. So it was really kind of nice, and it was kind of surprising as well, because we were unexpected.
Because I remember
seeing
I
it.
hosted a thing with you before.
That's
you were
right, in
like,
Ireland, it's for the film festival.
with
That's
Killian
right.
Scott,
Yeah.
and I remember Ian going, like, the Twitter, I can't. It's you couldldn't wrap your head around the social media aspect of stuff. So this is obviously a good thing to be part of.
Yeah.
Of course,
to see it coming out.
Of course. I mean, it's
that instantly known, like as well, like people, like I don't know, it's coming out soon, and this will probably be out after it's out, but I kind of wait until to hear kind of what people think, you know what I mean? Like, and it is a good thing. It can also be sometimes a bit better off just turning the whole thing off. You know what I mean? Going away from it, because you can send yourself mental,
Yeah.
Well, I saw the play initially in a Project Arts Centre a couple of years ago and was genuinely blown away by the play.
Oh, amazing.
But the first thing I thought was like, how would this work as a film? Because it seemed, even though it's just you two guys doing an incredible job playing multiple characters, I was thinking, how will this work as a film?
Yeah.
So how is it when you've played these multiple characters, watching or standing opposite other actors reading lines that you've done a million times before?
Ian probably answer that better because he played 20 characters in the play.
Yeah.
So
each with their own distinctive, like.
Yeah. I mean, and that was. I mean, you have to remember as well. You have to look at the quality of actor that I'm handing them obviously if they're mine, but the quality of actor that are taking them parts and giving them a life of their own. So that's exciting because you're not handing them over to just anyone. You're handing them over to some really brilliant actors. You're handing them over to Sarah Green and Shauna Kerslake and Stephen Jones and Mark O'Halloran, Liam Heslin, and you kind of go. That in itself is a bit of a joy. I mean, the play is so theatrical, so I can understand why you would go, how could that possibly be a film? But to see it flesh out and to watch it sort of happen, and I was on set quite a bit when I wasn't filming, and so that was weird because I was watching people playing these characters that I had been doing sort of on stage for a couple of years, and I was going, and you can't help but go, I can do it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they're nailing it, they're doing their own thing with it, and it's really exciting. It's a pleasure to kind of watch. It's a mad sort of a thing, and not a lot of people get to do something like that, to watch that happen, and it's cool.
And it's good fun as well, because like we worked with myself and Ian worked with all these people over the years in theatre. So we like Sarah Green is a mate of ours, you know what I mean? So it was great to see her, and she's just incredibly funny, you know what I mean? So whereas these kind of like were not thinly drawn, like some of them on stage, because you've only got like an hour, like and a bit, you know, our sketches. So to have an actress like Sarah Green and then Shauna Kerslake as well, really flesh out those kind of parts and see them do it. What happens is they take it off in a completely different direction, but that only happens with actors that you really respect and also that are as incredible and as brilliant as both in them.
Where's Shauna Kerslake from? I can't place her because her accents are so good in everything.
She's from Tala.
Is she? Her accents are so good in everything. Her can't cope, won't cope, whatever.
She's brilliant, yeah. I actually only seen Can't Cope recently, and I was thinking to myself, was after we done the film, I was like, wow, she's like, her accent's really good.
It's always a good sign when you can't play somebody wherever they're from, when they do multiple accents.
Absolutely.
Like.
And
there's a lot of Tala heads in the film.
There's 5 Tala heads in it, yeah.
Marco Rowe.
But we can't say him yet because that's a little surprise for most people. No, it's in it. It's on IMDb. But he asked me not to say it for his family because he wants to bring them to today. But I know we can talk about Marco Rowe plays a guy with a cap.
No, cut it. It's cool.
No. It'll be out after. Marco Rowe is also a famous playwright, and Marco Rowe wrote Intermission.
Yeah, of course.
So he's in the scene, just as a little nod to him, and he's from Tala. And it was great though with Shauna as well, because that kind of thing is the brothers are from Tala and the girlfriend is also from Tala, so there's kind of you're alluding to kind of past relationship that probably went on for a number of years. And when there's a character that's in the play, she kind of existed in the play just as a poem, so you know you have to put meat on the bones of a character and female representation. You know, if someone's going to be on screen and it's someone of her skill and talent, you know, you give them a part they can see the teeth into. So what would happen if a person who was an addict like Jason met a girl who is now off everything, and how would their relationship have developed, you know? So, and she really got that, like she really nailed that, you know.
I want to talk about Dave as well and the job he did directing the film, because he's done an incredible job. And Dublin being a character as well, like that scene around the corner from the Project Arts Centre where you shoot, and entertainment.ie's old offices are on Great Strand Street, so you actually walk past the office at one stage, and we literally, like, you know, lived there for a period of time, so saw all of that first time. But you really captured that essence of Dublin, which isn't an easy thing to do on film.
You always notice when a film is set in Dublin, but it's not shot in Dublin. And they've done that a few times. They have interiors and then they go outside, and the exteriors are kind of, you know, so even like the exteriors are just like they've done an odd day in Dublin. But one of the things, like for the job that Dave has done, how cinematic it is and the scope of it. So it is something that is and should be seen on the big screen. So even though it is to a degree a small story between two brothers, the expansive kind of elements of Dublin as a character is shot in a way that I don't think another Dublin film has been. So Dave has kind of created, with Dublin City, he has turned Dublin City into a third main character, you know what I mean, after the brothers and the world in which they live. And it is one of those things, I think people try to capture the essence of what Dublin is. A lot of the time people hit it because they know it intrinsically well, and a lot of the time they don't. And I think Dave knows Dublin really well, and he really hit that with this. But it is definitely something that should be seen on a big screen. So the basis of what I'm saying is, don't torrent it, you know, and watch it on a laptop. And if a bloke gets up in the middle of it and walks past it, it's a dud. Yeah, you're in the wrong cinema, or your bedroom.
Or in your gaff.
So don't torrent it, Ian. He'd do that. He's in it, and he'd torrent it.
They're only giving me a couple of tickets.
Because he's too cheap.
A lot of people want to see it.
Oh, you didn't pay me enough.
Yeah. They paid more for his teeth in the movie than they paid him.
I want to talk about that because there's a scene in it where you lift your shirt up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, was that kind of underline? I've lost a shitload of weight for this. Because you really, like, you embrace the part so brilliantly.
Yeah.
And it's that element of, he actually does look like he's somebody who's been a heroin addict.
Yeah, I lost 2.5 stone to do it. Yeah. The shirt lifting up was actually in the script.
Yes,
genuinely.
it is.
For a long time had been, but I thought, but tense him up while you're lifting him.
Yeah.
You've lost weight. Yeah, no, I have.
It was kind of scary because, like, it was that we were saying earlier about the athleticism of acting sometimes. You know, he trained like a boxer, shedding pounds for a fight. And then kind of to do it on screen as well. It's a full transformation. But sorry,
and I mean, you know, Mike, you do
MMA.
Yeah, so you know.
Right,
and I mean,
of course, yeah.
I remember the hardest part was there was a 2-week hiatus between one of my days filming and my next day filming, and to sort of maintain and not dip and not go back up for 2 weeks was kind of, that was the hardest point of the whole weight loss, weight maintenance thing. Yeah. But I'm glad I did it. You know, it was whatever. Like. You know, I kind of don't want to be. I kind of am always afraid because I always think it sounds like you know, you could lose the weight and be crap in the film. Yeah. Do you know? So. Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean. You're obviously not. But that's the thing. Sometimes because acting, sometimes people kind of talk about it they try to intellectualize it, and to a degree, it's about the mind. But weight loss is something that then is something it's something simple
to get you to that frame of mind.
Yeah, it gets you. So the two of them go side to side. So people go, oh yeah, he lost all the weight, but also. Like, and Ian is one of our leading kind of like actors in Ireland and on theatre stage. You know, there's a transformative element to the performance he's given that I don't think I've seen in an Irish film ever. And it's easy for me to say that now outside of it. In the moment, you know, we were just getting on with it and doing the show. But now that I've seen it, I can kind of go, yeah, it is. But that's all you're getting today. That's all. No. I left you hanging. I let it stinger.
You're good too.
Yeah. You're not right.
I kind of stuff outside of Dublin Old School as well. Ian, you're part of one of the most viral videos to ever come out of Ireland. The panty video was you happy.
I introduced panty. Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, that was funny that night because you know it's that thing when you're in it, you're not aware of it.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was like it's only a couple of days later or something. My ma rang me and went, "You're on the Wall Street Journal." It was everywhere. Like it went everywhere. It was me going, panty, and that was kind of, and that became so iconic. You know, it was so funny. Not a lot of people know
that changed stuff. Like it really did. Like
that was mad. We didn't know it at the time. Strangely, it was really weird. Didn't know it at the time. I mean, I remember going, "That's a really good speech."
Yeah.
You know, but it's bizarrely I didn't go, "This is going to change things." It's kind of amazing how these things happen. Yeah.
And change laws and
well,
stuff.
most of those things we were saying earlier, someone said about, you know, why they should, like, most things are ephemeral. They stick around for the day and then they're gone. In that moment, then some things don't, you know. So you're lucky, hopefully, if they do, you know. So.
What's it like, you know, as a working actor in Ireland, in Dublin, wherever it is right now? Do you have to? I know you have to kind of go back and forth to the UK as well, but particularly for the on-screen stuff, there's not a huge amount going on. So what is it like? I mean, obviously, this film I think is going to change things for you guys, but what's it like, kind of on a day-to-day basis? You know, jobbing as an actor in Dublin.
I'm not being funny by saying this. Ian would actually work a lot more than I would, and in film and TV. So I think you could probably take this one.
I don't know if that's true. I mean. It can look like that sometimes. Like, you know, I would look at myself and say I'm quite inexperienced when it comes to film and television work, and actually Dublin Old School has been a massive learning curve to me because I've kind of thrown a lot of sort of strange rules that I would have sort of put on myself out the window, and I kind of go, okay, I get it now. But also a lot of it is confidence. A lot of the gigs you do, like you look at actors who get a gig and they do 2 days filming on something, and that might be something that's been filming for 5 weeks. That's so difficult to do 2 days work. You come in, there's no time for you to kind of get to know everyone. You're not integral to the piece itself, but you're there to do your job. So you got to get into your job, serve a purpose. You're very uncomfortable on set because 99% of the time you won't know a lot of people. It's a very, very, very daunting experience, a very difficult job. Whereas when you're doing something like Dublin Old School, where you're with your mate and your mates are producing it, you know the director and you know everything, you know all the other actors. That level of comfort when you're actually about to go and do your job is invaluable. You can't to get what you want from yourself and what your director wants from you. To be in that position is like that's like. You know.
Usually in other jurisdictions, is that even a word?
Yeah, go for it. Commit to it and they won't know.
They won't know. That's my whole, like, just blag your way through something, you know, like you just say, like, verisimilitude. Ooh, what's that mean? Who knows?
Use that.
Well, let's say you're working in Britain, and you're working in theatre, and you're working in the West End, and you're working in the National, or the Royal Court, or any of those kind of places. You're kind of at the height of your theatre kind of success. And it's usually a hop, skip, and a jump then into TV and film. In Ireland, that doesn't happen. So like Ian is like, it is happening now for Ian, but Ian would be one of our leading theatre actors and, you know, multiple kind of roles. And what happens is, and I've noticed like that, the kind of two realms of film and TV, they kind of they follow their own kind of...
They kick along their own lines.
They kick along their own lines. Yeah. The film directors don't necessarily go to the theatre, but Dave Tynan does, you know, he goes to the theatre a lot, so he would have known both of us, you know, the kind of way. So those kind of realms, and it's weird. So what happens is you tend to kind of see the same people in film and the same people in theatre, but the crossover, the cross-pollination between the two is it's harder to uptake. I don't know what that's about. I notice in literary circles as well, people that write plays hang around with playwrights, people that write books, literature, you know, novels hang around with novelists, you know, and poets hang around with poets. So that mixture of kind of all of these things could be better, you know what I mean? Like that people basically jumping to the next level and thinking, because like the hotbed of acting is really in theatre. And like, so for film directors, it'd be really great if they go to the theatre, see the next thing they're seeing. But a lot of them, you know, they go to film school for 4 or 5 years and they watch a lot of movies. But you know, Ireland's movie industry now is at the height of its power. It's only getting stronger. So you're starting to see a lot of kind of people feeding up through, you know what I mean?
I think we've had some great films before, genuinely, but I don't, in my memory, remember 2 5-star films in a year. And that's Dublin Old School and Michael Inside as well. I thought Michael Inside was incredible.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Frank
Incredible
did such a
film.
good job. Like
Brilliant
that. So
film.
the
And
industry's
performances in it.
Yeah, the industry's in an incredible place. It really is.
I think
So
we
much
were
so.
talking about earlier. I think it's about the film board has an ability, unlike other funding bodies, to take chances and to take risks, and they've found a way to make movies not only sustainable, profitable, but also they're making movies that people want to see. Because that's one of the problems with art a lot of the time. People make pieces of art and they don't ask themselves the question, who's going to want to watch this?
Yeah.
And and they kind of think then it's incumbent upon someone else to pay for the paperwork, but ultimately a piece of art, play, film, novel, book, whatever it is, has to find an audience. And I think they kind of go, well, there is an audience out there for this. And I think like Michael Inside is so diverse, so there's films like ours, and then you might, I can't think of something now, like Kissing Candies, you know what I mean, like or Michael Inside. They're very disparate kind of stories about very different walks of life, and Drummer and the Keeper and so forth, and as well as that, they're going across the classes as well in terms of the socio-economic barriers necessarily that exist in the stories that we told, so I think it's a good time for Irish cinema. I think it's deadly time for Irish cinema.
I'm not going to keep this much longer, but I heard I don't really like the comparisons with other actors and that type of stuff. I think it's quite lazy, but I heard an interesting one. Somebody said it to me recently about you, Emmet. They likened you to Donald Glover. Not the little weapon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, get too old for this shit.
Childish Gambino,
and This Is
prefer the other one.
America.
the other one like Donald Glover. I'm too old for this shit.
I prefer that one.
Yeah. With what's the sexy saxophone playing in the background when I don't know what to do.
Mel Gibson running around.
Yeah, running around. We lost it. I loved Donald Glover, and I loved. Like that's a really lovely thing for someone to say. I suppose, because I would have watched Community.
Yeah.
So I like that kind of. I love Community, and the guy that makes Community as well, that makes Rick and Morty, that style of comedy. And Donald Glover does stand up. He does that. Also the music he makes. Like, I mean, some
He's
of
an
his.
artist.
He's an artist. Like a lot of, and I think even the music, and we see that with This Is America. Like a lot of people seeing him for the first time. But his first two albums, were incredible. That amount of kind of the scope of all the kind of stuff he touched on, and he's always on beat. He's always he's such a lyricist, and his music, he produces loads in him as well, and he's a writer. And Atlanta is,
belt and show.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. We can make Dublin Old School a TV show. It might be Tala instead of Atlanta, just Tala. And, weird stuff happens in the square. It's all there.
I watched that, to be honest. Let's go to Cool. Let's mix it up.
This is the thing. If you watch something, that's the one thing someone's going look. Always people will get down with a story where they feel it's from the inside out, as opposed to the outside in. And that's the problem is people always try to write stories that aren't from those kind of places. And it's okay, you can, but it's if you're going to know or write a story about that place, know about it.
Get it.
And I think that's one that Dayton and yourself and Philip McMahon, the original director of the play, all knew. And if you're going to do a play about Dublin, know about Dublin.
We can leave it there, lad. It's a
Nice one.
Cheers, Mike.